Yo, what's good? Freedom marchers, freedom family, freedom lovers, freedom fighters. How y'all doing this morning? It is Monday, August 26th, 2024. I believe it's 26. Yep. Monday, August 26th, 2024. And I am on the road back to Georgia. And yeah, hope you guys had a great weekend. Back to the grind. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that grind may be. So, I wanted to get into this whole UK banning of machetes and zombie knives. All right. Now, there are always mass stabbings and whatnot going on in the UK. And, you know, the UK has banned firearms, basically, unless you live in a rural area and you're a hunter, right? And at that point, you can only have a shotgun. But, you know, in the UK, they have banned firearms for regular motherfuckers. So, we know that firearms are banned in the UK. But we also know that has not stopped people from committing acts of violence towards each other, including murder, by other means. So we know that firearm prohibitions do not stop violent acts. We know that it does not stop people from killing each other, right? We know that even, if you look at Germany, Germany has also banned firearms for its citizens. And we know that some guy got a semi-truck and ran over a bunch of people on a bridge and killed over 24 people. So we know that bans and prohibitions of any sort, of any tool, do not work, right? That's why every 2 goddamn days, they are coming up with a ban of some sort to prevent people from owning certain things, certain tools. Now, a knife and a machete, knives and machetes are tools. You know what I'm saying? It just so happens that some people use these tools to kill or to harm other people. That is just how it is. That is just human nature. People are always going to find a way to commit acts of violence towards each other because, again, this is the real world. Now, they would like you to think that there could be a world where no one commits any form of violence toward another person. And they think that to achieve this, they have to prohibit people from owning the tools to do so. But we all know that people are always going to find a different tool. And at some point, these government entities are going to have to stop. They're going to have to stop banning tools. Because at some point, people are not going to be able to own anything that could harm another person. We know it's bullshit, right? We know that this is just a means of control. This is a means of exercising your tyranny and power over other people. Now, banning machetes is retarded. Banning so-called zombie knives is retarded. As a matter of fact, what is a zombie knife? What is a zombie knife? These people have a habit of using terms to basically, these terms that they use for certain things to make it seem like, yo, this shit is trash, or give it, put a very negative connotation on the thing that they're giving these names to, right? The zombie knife. What is that? And what defines a zombie knife? Like, right? What makes a zombie knife a zombie knife? Help me understand that, because that seems like a very ambiguous term. We all know what a machete is. To outright ban machetes even though they're useful for other things than, you know, attacking people, they're good for, they have other uses. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand. I don't understand the purpose of banning tools. Right now, this ban goes into effect. I believe it's September 24th of this year. Why wait? Right? If these things are so dangerous, if these tools are so dangerous, firearms, knives, machetes, whatever you want to say, why put a date on it? Why not make it immediate? Why are we giving people until the 24th of September to purchase machetes and all this other shit? Right? They did the same thing in Canada when the prick there banned pistols. The ban didn't go in effect immediately. You know, they waited. So, like, why are we doing this? Why are we putting a date on it? Like, right? If these things are so dangerous, why would you have to put such a far out date on it? Sunshine was good. I don't understand this, right? You know, it serves no purpose, right? Again, it's just to take away whatever means any individual could use to defend themselves, to perform everyday tasks, to make their lives more convenient. You know, why can't a woman, you're disempowering women, as a matter of fact. I mean, you're disempowering anybody that could fall victim to an attacker, because people can use their hands and feet to cause harm to people. They can use their hands and feet to commit murder, right? A man twice the size of a woman could cause harm to that woman, could have his way with her. And the only way she would be able to defend herself is if she had a knife, right? But no, you can't own knives because somebody used a knife to kill somebody. So these reactionary bans, these reactionary bills, these reactionary laws are completely asinine, right? Somebody kills somebody with something, so now you want to prevent everybody else from having it. Like this type of governing is just out of control. The best way to prevent violence, right? The best way to prevent violence is to give the people every opportunity to defend themselves against said violence, right? Instead of banning knives, right? How about you educate and train people in the use of knives to defend themselves against someone who would use a knife against them, a robber or a murderer or whatever. Why not empower people to empower and equip people to best use whatever tools they have available to them to defend themselves and others? That's how you do it. If you really cared about people's safety, you would empower them to keep themselves safe. You would empower them to rely on their own abilities and their own wit and their own problem-solving skills to protect themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like I always say about leadership. True leaders encourage leadership in other people. Because if you're the only leader within everything within your purview, then you're actually weakening everyone else around you, because you're encouraging them to rely on you and you alone for their safety, for their growth. No, you want to encourage leadership. You want to encourage abilities in other people that they might need if you're not around, right? You know, everyone and I mean everyone, even people that may use these tools and use these abilities in the wrong way, you want to encourage everybody to be able to use firearms. You want to encourage everyone to have to know how to use knives and whatever else, right? Machetes. You want to have you want everyone to be able to have these tools available to them in case they need them. Not a few road pirates or Gestapo that are road riding around, having the ability to do it themselves, right? Like police officers or military. You only want the military and the police to have these tools and to be able to use these things and have these abilities and be trained in evasive maneuvers and being able to drive tactically and all these other things. No, you want everybody to be trained, right? Because just having the tool is not going to make you a murderer. It's not going to make you a violent person. No. But you want people to be able to be violent to protect themselves. Right? That's just what it is. I mean, if everyone has the tools to defend themselves, if everyone was able to own a knife, was able to own a gun, was able to own a howitzer, was able to own a cannon, if everyone had a turret on their house with a 50 cal machine gun mounted on it, that would be something that you would want. If every household had everyone within it trained in the safe use of firearms, the safe use of grenades, the safe use of RPGs, would you even need a police officer? Or would you just need a rotation of individuals to patrol their neighborhood, to patrol their community? I mean, imagine how safe the world would be if everyone had firearms, if everyone had access to a drone, a Predator drone, if everyone had access to an Abrams tank or a Bradley fighting vehicle, which are kind of outdated. They're being replaced with Strikers. Imagine if every household had a Striker. Imagine if every household had a turret with a 50 cal machine gun mounted on it. Imagine if every backyard had a silo, a missile silo. Imagine that. It'll be mutually assured destruction all over the goddamn place. That would be the safest community. The community where everyone had a missile silo, a goddamn a machine gun turret, a goddamn Striker in the driveway. If everybody had a firearm on them, you know what I'm saying? If everybody was carrying around an assault rifle, that would be the safest community in the world. And if every community had that, well, shit. Imagine if every individual in the world from a certain age were trained in the safe use of firearms, and when they demonstrated that safe use of firearms, they were able to carry it around, and it'll be the everyday carry. That would just be something that they got used to, right? Like, it'll be like putting drawers on, just like my everyday carry is like putting drawers on. And guess what? Even though I have an everyday carry where I have, a pistol, right, with multiple magazines, and a vehicle with a truck gun, you know what I'm saying? Multiple blades. I'm not just having these things in my possession. I'm not thinking about killing somebody right now. Murder's not on my mind simply because I have these tools in my vehicle and on my person. I don't automatically think about going out and stringing somebody up and disemboweling them. I'm not thinking about going out and committing crimes just because I have all this shit. No. But I know I'm secure because I know how to use these things. because I'm well trained and I know how to safely use them. I haven't blown my own skull off yet. I haven't blown somebody else's skull off yet on accident. You know what I'm saying? Because I know how to safely use these things. I'm comfortable knowing that my children can be around them and they don't even look twice at them. Because guess what? They know they're there. They don't have that curiosity. Like, oh, look what I found under Baba's. I'm around and I'm supervising. What are we talking about, man? You guys are writing paragraphs. I can't read no goddamn paragraphs. The adults have the lack of discipline and lack of accountability. Hold on, y'all. Let me, damn, nope. I can't turn the slide off because I can't see. Well, there's plenty of adults that have the lack of accountability and lack of responsibility. They will bear themselves out like they always do. They do that now. Irresponsible adults and adults who lack accountability, they already expose themselves. And so when they do show a lack of accountability and a lack of responsibility, they will expose themselves and they will be dealt with. Just like now. You see, freedom is dangerous and uncomfortable. Right? Just like tyranny is dangerous and uncomfortable. But at least with freedom, goddamn, that was a motherfucking. I just passed up a goddamn deer carcass. That motherfucker was ravaged. That motherfucker was obliterated. Something obliterated that motherfucker. Goddamn, shouter. Anyway, so people already show themselves to be irresponsible and unaccountable, right? Even with all the safety road tests and all that other shit before you get your license and having to answer questions and to get your permit, you can pass all that shit with flying colors. You can go to a firearm trainer, right? Someone who trains you in the safe use of firearms. You can go get training. You can demonstrate all the safety that they taught you. You can have the best comprehension in the world. Guess what? You can still blow your toe off. You can still, in a panic or, by accident, pull a and hit a femoral artery. You might. That's just part of the game. That's life, right? As I drive down the 20 every fucking week, twice a week, and I'm always seeing a brand new goddamn cross on the side of the goddamn road. You know what that cross means? It's a new cross with wreaths on it and flowers. You know what that means? In ribbons that shows the name of an individual. That means somebody died on this goddamn highway. Everybody that drives on this highway ostensibly has a license to drive. You know what that means when they have that, when they get that license? That tells you that they were trained and they passed the safety test, they passed the road test, and they answered questions, they got a permit, they went through the whole shebang-a-lang. They went through the whole process to get the vehicle. Yet, they still got in an accident, whether they were ran off the road by somebody else, or they ran themselves off the road, or they rear-ended somebody, or they sideswiped somebody. They were probably texting on their phone. They were doing all this shit. They know they're not supposed to drive and text, right? Just like I know I'm not supposed to sit up here and read whole paragraphs, y'all, right, while I'm driving. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the road right now. I'm looking around. I'm looking at my mirrors. I'm looking at my rear view mirror. I'm making sure that I'm watching the road, right? Y'all, sometimes it looks like I'm looking at the goddamn camera, and sometimes I am. Sometimes I'm glancing at the camera. Sometimes I'm looking at the mirror, right? I know how to safely drive on this highway. But that doesn't mean that bus right there, or that semi trailer, the guy, he might not look right? When you get over, when you merge into another lane, you're supposed to look over your shoulder. You're not supposed to just look in the mirror. You're supposed to look over in the blind spot. Sometimes you don't. So, you know, and the drivers of these semi-trailers, they have extra mirrors that show the blind spot. And so they think, oh, well, shit, I ain't got to look. I just got to look in the mirror real quick. Well, guess what? It don't always work like that. They might run somebody off the road, right? They might run somebody off the road and it's a wrap. So just because there are adults who lack accountability and responsibility doesn't mean that they shouldn't have the freedom to carry before they demonstrate that they lack the accountability and the responsibility. No, you have that right until you demonstrate that you don't deserve the right. Which, you know, some entities want that demonstration to be very minimal, right? They want you to, you know, whatever. Y'all get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying, man. Like, y'all, we have to understand that, you know, freedom is not free, right? When you're truly free, you are more susceptible outright to danger. Whereas with government control and government rule, there is the illusion of security. There is the illusion of safety. At the end of the day, you're in much danger with or without that government control, without that government rule, without that government tyranny. The government gives you the illusion of freedom. It gives you, the illusion of safety, the illusion of security. With all this bureaucracy, with all this red tape, they give you the illusion, right? They give you the illusion that the drug war is actually preventing people from using drugs, or that it's stopping the flow of drugs, or that there are less people on drugs, or less people addicted. No. It just makes it more dangerous for people to obtain drugs, and when they obtain the drugs, it makes it less reliable. You understand what I'm saying? I know it probably doesn't make sense to y'all because you guys think with the statist mind, right? Now I can turn this shit off. You guys have the mind of the statist. You think that if the government didn't prohibit drugs, well then drug use would be worse. There would be more death. There would be a more proliferated use of drugs. No. The government prohibiting drugs makes it more dangerous. Makes the drug game more dangerous. Why? Because it adds an element of danger, right? The government being involved in prohibiting drugs makes drug use and drug dealing more dangerous. It doesn't reduce it. It just makes it more dangerous. Why? Because the drug dealers have to worry about an element of danger to them, right? Because they might get caught by the government selling drugs. And if you get caught by the government selling drugs, you're going to go to prison. You're going to have your freedom taken away. And what does that do? That makes you more dangerous because now you have to be threatening. You have to be threatening to the people that you're selling these drugs to, or the people that you have selling the drugs for you. So if you're a distributor of drugs, you're not a street level slanger. If you are a distributor, well, you got to be more you have to be more threatening to the people that you are distributing the drugs to that sell it out on the street, right? You are more paranoid. You are more likely to kill somebody because you're not trying to get caught by the government. You have to worry about drug stings and all this other shit. If somebody gets picked up by the police, that puts them in more danger, right? Let's say a street level drug dealer. Let's say a street level drug dealer gets picked up by the police and you find out. You don't know if the guy's talking or not. So if the guy gets put out on the street again, right? Let's say Okay, the cop rolled him up, but he didn't have any drugs on him. He was just under suspicion. Maybe he did something suspicious. Maybe there was a handoff, but he was too slick to get caught with the evidence on him. Well, guess what? That is going to, you know, the distributor is not going to know for sure. So, guess what? Man, I gotta use the bathroom real bad. All of a sudden, guess what? That makes the drug dealer a lot more paranoid, and that means he is probably going to kill you. Ugh. So there's an added element of danger to drug prohibition, just like there's an element of danger to firearm prohibition, because there are so-called illegal drug dealers out on the street. Man. I gotta go. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna have to get off this real quick. I gotta get off this highway and use the bathroom, man, like real bad. But anyway, y'all get what I'm saying. Government prohibitions are dangerous. If drugs were not prohibited, the people that would use the drugs with the prohibition would use them anyway. The people that would sell the drugs without the prohibition would sell them anyway. And so, without the prohibition, it just makes it a lot safer. It makes the drugs a lot more, you know, they wouldn't have to cut the drugs. They wouldn't have, there were a lot of things they would not have to do if drugs were not illegal. You're not going to stop it, right? You're not going to stop it. As a matter of fact, they have more dangerous drugs that are sanctioned, that are government sanctioned, that are legal, right? That the big pharma sells to people. So, I mean, listen, man, it is what it is, y'all. Like, so prohibiting firearms, prohibiting machetes, prohibiting knives is completely asinine, right? These are just tools. At the end of the day, these are just tools. People are going to be irresponsible with hammers. What are we going? We going to ban hammers now? If somebody uses a hammer to kill somebody, we should prohibit the use of hammers by regular people. Like, I just want us to think about all this shit. I want us to think about prohibitions in a different way. I think I need us to think about all these things that they say is dangerous, and they want to ban from us, that they want to prohibit us from using or owning or selling. I want us to really think about what they're really doing, right? Because at the end of the day, these are just tools. These are just firearms, knives, machetes, right? They're tools. Just like, you know, drugs, alcohol, all those things, they're tools as well. They're tools as well that people use. There are foods that are dangerous. There are foods that they sell you in the grocery store that are dangerous, that can cause harm to you. But they allow these big companies to sell them anyway, right? They allow a certain level of poison in your food. Yeah. They allow a certain level of poison to be put into your food by these companies that they can cover up. They don't even have to tell you it's in there, right? They can allow a certain level of rat feces and rat piss in your food without telling you, up to 20% or something like that. I forgot the exact percentage, but yeah. I mean, just think about that. Think about, are they really trying to protect you? When they ban knives and guns and tools and shit like that, are they really trying to help you? Think about what that's really doing. right? When they ban drugs, right? When they do that, when they prohibit drugs, are they really trying to help you? Think about it. Think about it. Or are these just tools for control? Are they just tools for control? Like, I just really want us to think about that. I want us to think about that as they continue to commit tyranny over there in the UK, over here. Every time they ban something, think about what they're really doing. Think about what they're really doing. The ultimate thing they're doing is creating a black market. And the black market is dangerous. Right? The black market is dangerous. The gray market is dangerous. And the free market is the only market that is just. Right? Allow people to buy and sell what they want, as long as they are doing it, as long as it's mutually agreed upon transaction, as long as they're not harming each other or harming others in this transaction, as long as they're not using whatever they're purchasing to harm other people maliciously, well, then people should be allowed to do what they want. You know, I mean, otherwise, how do they know what you're going to do with it until you do something with it, right? You might buy something, right? You might buy a drug, you might buy a gun or a knife in order to harm somebody. But if you haven't done it yet, what's the deal? So the best answer is to not allow anybody to have these things? That's not the answer, right? That's not the answer. Like it or not, people are going to do what they want to do, and you're not going to be able to do anything about it until they do it. Good morning, agent. You are not going to be able to do anything about anything anybody is going to do until they actually do it. You know, unless they're actually demonstrating at that point in time, in the moment, that they're getting ready to do something harmful or do something malicious, there's nothing you can do about it, right? Like, if I were, well, I'm not gonna say that, but if somebody, let's say Johnny was going to go out and delete a bunch of people, but he gives no signs. He goes and buys a firearm, right? He passes the background check. He has never ever demonstrated at any point in his life that he was going to commit any harm to anybody. He might buy that knife or he might buy that gun, and you know, tomorrow he goes out and commits the act. But you had no idea he was going to do it. So the answer is what? To not allow anybody else to do that, not allow anybody else to buy a knife, but not allow anybody else that has no intent and never will commit those crimes? No. The best thing to do is, if Johnny wants to go get a gun, Johnny's never demonstrated any history of violence or anything like that, and has never done any harm to anybody, and he plans to go out and do that tomorrow, well, the best chance for anybody is for the people that he goes to commit these acts has their own firearm and is able to defend themselves against him. That is the best answer, right? Because otherwise, he could just go out in the black market. You know what I'm saying? And buy. So if firearms are prohibited, he can just go out into the black market and get him some firearms, and then still do the same thing he's gonna do anyway. But when he gets there, the other people that he's going to commit these acts against, they don't have anything to defend themselves. And this has been demonstrated many times in gun-free zones. So gun-free zones, this has happened many times. Every firearm prohibition you can think of exists in a gun-free zone. In a gun-free zone, every gun control act that a gun controller's wet dream is in a gun-free zone. No one is allowed to carry a fire. No one is even allowed to have it in their vehicle. You're not allowed to have a firearm anywhere in the perimeter of that gun-free zone, unless you're like a peace officer or something like that. But that gun-free zone might only have a few peace officers. But if, let's say, you got a couple of peace officers at the entrance of that gun-free zone, and a would-be gunman is able to take them out, well, that was your only chance at defending an entire all these people in this gun-free zone from getting harmed by this gunman. You just took that person out. You took those people out. Now, no one else in this gun-free zone has the ability to defend themselves. But if it wasn't a gun-free zone, hell, the person might not even think about going in that place to do that. Chances are, if there were no gun-free zones, there would not be nearly as many mass shootings. The CDC did a study, and it showed that 500,000 to 2 million people have used firearms to prevent violence. 2 million. 2 million preventions. 2 million times where, up to 2 million times where people used a firearm to stop someone else from doing something bad, right? That's 2 million. That's 2 million times someone's life was potentially saved by the use of a firearm each year. Versus what, 40-something thousand deaths, most of which are by suicide. So just really think about that. I think there might be somebody in the chat that's just, a gun control nut basket. Then you would see a charge. I'm not saying Google can't have these things. I'm saying people need to be held responsible. So people are held responsible. So let's think about this. Certain firearms are prohibited, right? Certain firearms are prohibited. And someone might own a prohibited firearm, but no one would know about that person owning that prohibited firearm unless they did something bad with it. So what are those bad things that they can do with this firearm? Well, they can assault somebody, they can rob somebody, they can threaten somebody, they can kill somebody. Those are some of the things they can do with this firearm. All these things are already illegal, right? Robbery is already illegal. It doesn't matter what you commit the robbery with. It could be strong arm robbery, right? Guess what? With or without the firearm, you're going to be held accountable for committing robbery. Killing somebody. You can kill somebody with your elbow, or you can kill somebody with a gun. Either way, killing someone, murder, is illegal. Assault is illegal. You can assault somebody with a gun or without a gun. You can assault somebody with a bat or without a bat. You can assault somebody with a knife. You can assault somebody with a thumbtack. You can assault somebody with a headbutt. In some states, you can assault somebody with your words. You can commit battery with or without the firearm. You can commit attempted murder with or without a firearm. These things are already illegal. It's already illegal to commit harm to another person. It's already illegal to steal, rob. It doesn't matter what you do it with. And guess what? With or without firearms, people are going to do it anyway. But the best way to prevent that is for the would-be victim or would-be victims to have the tools to defend themselves in equal measure or more than the person that's going to attack them. Okay, this Yule character is, it's not making any sense. It's not, if somebody's car gets stolen, how's it their fault? This is idiotic. It's best not, I don't, people actually think like this. Well, some troll or not, sometimes these people are trolls, sometimes these people are really that stupid. To say that someone who's a victim of a crime is their fault, that's asinine, right? If I have my car parked somewhere and it's minding its own business, it's locked, there's an alarm, and it doesn't belong to another person, it belongs to me. I paid for it. You know what I'm saying? I paid the extortion fees to have it on the road. I paid the extortion fees to have it registered. All this other shit is mine. And someone else comes along, breaks into it and steals it. How is it my fault? It's not my fault. You don't even need to answer the question, because any answer you would have will be ridiculous, and that's what you're being ridiculous on purpose. That's what it's talking about. That's what this guy's got going on. If you're talking about the law of nature and the law of societies, law of nature, law of societies, this is ridiculous. So then, if you think that a person who steals somebody's car is not their fault, then surely you believe that someone owning a firearm, it's okay for people to own a gun. It's okay for people to have firearms and have knives, right? If you're saying it's okay, if you're not saying it's okay, you're saying it's the victim's fault if their car gets stolen, then by that logic, you're saying that it's a woman's fault if she gets raped, or it's a child's fault if they get inappropriately touched. It's some guy's fault if he gets murdered for no reason. He just said if a woman gun gets SA, it's her fault. He's an idiot. Wow. Yeah. He's full of shit. See, you can't reason with people like that. There's no point arguing with someone who would say that. There's no point. There's no point. Well, guess what? If let's say a woman is getting ready to get SA, right? Some guy tries to SA a woman, but she pulls out a pistol and blows his head off. That's his fault, right? Or should she just let him do that? Completely asinine. Don't that motherfucker, man. Yeah. Ridiculous. I hear you, sunshine. Yeah, I mean, I believe in free speech, but I can't control everybody's actions. You know what I'm saying? That's my belief. I'm not gonna push my beliefs onto other people. Because normally I would say don't delete anybody or don't, you know what I'm saying, block anybody. But I'm not out here to control anybody's actions. What I would encourage that you allow free speech to reign, regardless of what they say and how they say it. Because I feel like by doing so, you're allowing people to expose themselves for their ridiculousness and their silliness. That's what I would say. You know what I'm saying? I would say I encourage free speech because that's how people expose themselves. That's how you're able to see how certain individuals think and where their minds are at. So I would encourage. Hey, what's up? Jay with Open Eyes 4, what's good? I saw your video yesterday about Mark Tufano. Yeah. That guy's a piece of work. See, when I try to address the rotten meat that he sent me, right? It was collagen sausage, and it was rotten, because like I said, I got the collagen hot dogs from him before, and they didn't smell, you know what I'm saying? But when collagen sausage smell like straight ass and septic tank. Straight septic tank ass. And there was no way I was going to eat that. And, I tried to address it, and he would not address it properly. So I left him a bad review on Shopify. The Shop app? Because I ordered his shit through Shop. So I left a bad review for him. And this fool gonna come under and reply under the review and say that was my first time ordering anything from him, right? And that I work for the government. I'm trying to sabotage his business, and I work for the government, and all this other shit. Just a wild ass conspiracy theory that, I was a government agent who was sent to destroy his business. When he knew damn well I had ordered shit from him a dozen times or more. So when I called him out on that in the reviews, I called him out. I said he's lying. I said that he was lying and that I had ordered plenty of shit from you before, and I do not work for the government. And he removed that silly ass comment. Mark Tufano's full of shit. Let me tell you something. The guy does not believe the shit he's saying, right? He knows better. The problem is, I think that more people were having issues with his products than he would like to let on, and that he no longer want to be held responsible for the bullshit that he was doing with his business. And so he came up with this wild ass theory saying that everybody who complains and tries to get their money back is a government agent trying to take his business down. He's full of shit. No, he did not refund me. He never did. Never. He never gave me my refund. And I escalated the situation with Shop, and they didn't do anything about it. You know what I'm saying? I filed a dispute with Shop, and they didn't do shit. Where am I going to? I'm going to Georgia. Yep, Martu Finals full of shit. I mean, most of the time he had great products. I mean, I really had no issues with much of what he sent to me until the collagen sausage. The collagen sausage was ass. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even feed it to my dog. It was wasted. I mean, all of it, every single package. I ordered 10 packages of the collagen sausage, along with 10 packages of the dog food. The dog food smelled like, it smelled weird, but it did not smell like the ass like the collagen sausage. The dog food had organs in it. So basically ground meat with organs and whatnot, and bones and all the good shit for the dog, right? The dog ate it up. But yeah, the collagen sausage it just smelled horrible. And yeah, I ain't fucking with them no more. Anyway, y'all, let me get off of y'all. I was been supposed to pull over and relieve myself. You know what I'm saying? I don't have such a young bladder no more. Anyway, much love, like, share, subscribe, and we're gonna keep marching forward toward freedom. A freedom where everyone can continue to have the tools that they need. Grown ass men and women.